All right. Welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Erin Goodman. There's Erin right there. No Scott Allen yet. But I tell you what, I do have something I want everybody to see before we talk about everything. I got something that came to me today.
Oh boy.
Scott Allen's working really hard these days. So I want you to see this picture that I got sent today. There's Scott Allen. That's how hard he's working right now, sitting in his little recliner. And
I don't know who sent you that, but that is the ultimate MVP. That was everything that I needed on this rainy Tuesday.
Well, let me tell you who sent it to me. His mother sent it to me.
Stop it.
Yep.
That.
So that's where I got it from, his mother.
He should have been here on time.
That's right. But I don't know he's going to be here at all. But anyway, I hope he's doing good. So we'll check with him in a little bit.
We do miss him.
All right, let's do all our sponsors for this year, or marketing partners, as Scott calls them. Slinger Speed Company. You want shirts and stuff, get a call to them. Mayhem Management. Some girl named Erin Goodman runs that little organization right there.
Yeah.
Papa John's. We don't have Papa John's tonight because we're doing this remotely. I'm at home. Erin's at home. So we're doing it remotely. So no Papa John's tonight, but I did talk to her. And so hopefully we'll get some next week. Smith's Wraps and Graphics. They bring you the show. They're the title sponsor for our show. NC811. Next year, this will be VA811 because they've already announced they're going to stay with us for next year. So that's a good thing. And thanks to Brian Morehouse, they'll be with us for next year and hopefully maybe beyond that. GAC Enterprises Incorporated, the Great American Company. Guillermo Amaya runs that organization. Great guy. Has made a whole lot of money with all the construction. He's big in construction and a lot of these big buildings, roads. He's into everything. Bondurant Brothers Distillery, Robert Bondurant down in Chase City, Virginia. Got to get down there and see him real soon to get some more of that moonshine he's got down there. I don't want Erin getting none. She might get drunk or something, so don't want to do that.
Not me.
Pepsi. We'll have Pepsi. Can't live without Pepsi. I can't live without it. And we're not at Langley tonight, but Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. We want to thank Bill and Chuck and everybody there for helping us out. Factory Canopies. I'm going to tell you what, they've done a lot of stuff for us, and I'm really proud to say we're a part of their team. And I'm going to miss
my chair tonight.
Do what?
So I'm missing my chair tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm going to miss not being down there with them. They have a whole big area at Charlotte, and we were supposed to go down there and be with them at Charlotte, but I'm going to miss. I'm not going to be there, so that's a shame. Black Acid Custom Apparel, 1 shirt, 2 shirts, 100 shirts. They're the people you need to talk to. Hats, they do a little bit of everything. Black Acid Apparel. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister does a lot of good work there. She could help you with uniforms, marketing, interview. She does a lot of coaching and stuff like that as far as interviews and how to handle the media and everything. She does a great job. So that is all our title sponsors. Did you watch any racing this weekend, Erin?
I watched a little bit. I think everyone's seen the Jordan Anderson incident.
Yeah.
Some scary stuff, and as bad as it was, could have been a lot worse.
Thank goodness it wasn't a lot worse. And I tell you what, I saw him trying to climb out of that car before it come to a stop, and then the truck went into the wall on the side he was trying to get out of. That worried me a little bit, but
they said like it was so smoky, like he was trying to get out because he was burning. I mean, at that point, he already had 2nd-degree burns.
That's right.
And then so he was trying to get himself out of the truck, and it was so smoky, he didn't know where he was. So he didn't know that he was about to hit the wall. He was trying to get out, and that impact threw him out.
I'll tell you what,
Scary stuff.
I'm glad I wasn't a part of that because that would have been more than I could have handled.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Cup winner this past weekend was Chase Elliott.
I did see that finish.
He was in the right place, right time, and managed to get around. And I didn't think he had a shot, but he made it work.
You never know till you cross that line.
Well, how about the Xfinity race? AJ Allmendinger won the Xfinity race. Basically the same type of deal, but only by inches. He didn't win it by much.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The trucks, Matt DiBenedetto got his first NASCAR win.
There's a little bit of controversy over that, wasn't there?
Yes, there was a little bit of controversy over it. But what can you say? He won the race.
It counts as a win.
Well, I mean, I didn't understand what they were saying either because of what they were talking about. But the other truck crossed the finish line, but when they turned the lights on to end it, they were there. Yeah. They were there. So anyway.
Yeah.
That was a good race too. Down at Montgomery Speedway this past weekend, Augie Grill got the modified win and Gio Ruggiero got the late model win. The ARCA West division was over in Roseville, California. Cole Moore got the win. He drives a Bill McAnally car. He got the win over there, and he was teammates with his dad. And he finished behind him.
That's
so that was a pretty good deal there. ARCA was in Salem, Indiana. Sammy Smith got his 5th win of the season. So
very consistent work out of that camp.
Oh, and I understand he's got something big planned for next year, so it's supposed to be coming out real soon. I got a note from, and I think it's already out on Facebook too by now, but Kenny Wallace won the regional championship of Missouri and Illinois in the dirt modifieds. He won the regional championship. He says it's pretty neat to win a regional championship in his last year that he's going to be racing full time. So he finally got a championship.
Awesome. Good for him.
For everybody who didn't know, last week the Beluso race was rained out. It's been rescheduled for October 29th. And Erin's got the schedule for this coming weekend. It's going to be a big weekend. First championship weekend at Langley this weekend.
Yeah. So we'll have the Virginia Sprints at Langley this weekend. They always put on a good show. Championship night for the late models, for the Virginia Racers, Enduros, Grand Stocks, Ucars, Pro 6, and Karts. So Langley is going to have a lot of racing this weekend.
They sure are. It's going to be big. It's going to be big down there this weekend.
The temperature may be a little chilly, but if I know anything about consistency about championship night, it gets a little warm.
Yes. It's going to be an interesting night. And I'm going to be there one way or the other. They might have to carry me in there, but I'm going to be there one way or the other. But
we'll get you there.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to get there. Also, announcement was made today that Haley Deacon is going Xfinity racing this time in Las Vegas or Phoenix.
A lot of mixed Las Vegas.
And that's going to be big. She's going to be driving the 07 for SS Greenlight. They have an agreement with Stuart Haas. So
it's a big opportunity for her.
It's going to be big. So I wonder, hopefully she'll be competitive in that.
Yeah.
Also, today is Stephanie Ranger's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Stephanie.
Stephanie Ranger's birthday is today. I think she turned 21.
I think so.
But
shots on Scott.
I think Josh told me she 21 plus. I ain't going to tell her what he said.
Don't you dare finish that sentence.
And the racing world lost a great guy. I've had a chance to meet this guy and talk with him a couple times. Rick Eshelman. He's been involved in a lot of things. I've had a chance to talk with him in the past. Hate to see him gone, but he is gone, and we wish his family the very best. And thoughts and prayers to go out to him. So that's a pretty big deal. So hope everybody does well with that. All right, tell you what, let's get started. We're going to start with one of your people since we don't have Lenny on here yet. I don't know where Lenny's at.
We've got a couple of my people tonight. So we will start with the one here with me. We'll start with Kyle Nestor. Speaking of this weekend at Langley, see if I can get it to where nice little dramatic entrance there.
There he is.
All right. So, Kyle, what do you have planned for this weekend, bud?
I'm going racing.
Where are you racing at?
The one and only Langley Speedway.
Uh-oh. You're going to be racing in what division?
The Virginia Racers.
So you're coming out there to try to take care of a certain person? No names called?
Just take care of business.
Okay, take care of business. That's the best way to say it. I wasn't going to say anything about his name. Riley Music, I wasn't going to do that. Wasn't going to mention him.
I think, and that's what is, we've talked a lot about this week and last week. We've obviously have had this date planned. We are very thankful Billy Banks and his crew got the job done and got our motor fixed up and back to us. So I think that kind of helps a little bit. Does that ease your mindset knowing that you've got your own horsepower, not rented horsepower?
Yeah, definitely. We know what we have, so I feel like it'll be better.
Have you raced in the Virginia races at Langley this year?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had. I wasn't positive. My mind wasn't on that. So
where'd you finish that race?
How'd you do?
Practice didn't go so well. We had to put laps on our tires. Didn't really get much practice. Went out to qualify. Picked it up. What was it? Like half a second, maybe. Picked up half a second. I was only like a 10th off Cody. So, I mean, it was a pretty good time. But, I mean, probably could have got back to the gas sooner, especially in qualifying. And then the race, just riding around, track position was really it. I mean, we had a fast car. We just needed track position.
That was a good 55-minute Virginia Racer race.
Oh,
I think
gosh.
we ended up having like 10 cautions.
So what do you do different than for Langley that you don't do it? I mean, what you do different at Langley that you're not, you don't have to do it Dominion, I guess is the best way to say
it. Dominion is you just carry so much speed. Langley is just such slower track. Not slower, but you have to go slower to go faster.
Okay, well, that's
makes sense, right?
But that's not a thing a race car driver likes.
No,
go slower to go faster. That's
slow and natural.
That's not something they enjoy too much. Now you got Erin Goodman there as your PR person. Does she really do anything for you much? I mean, I see her just roaming around the racetrack, walking around, and
I don't do anything, so obviously there's something done.
Oh, okay. So you've been making sure she's got it together then. Well,
I mean, sometimes he may not get fed before the race. Like the night that he raced at Langley and he finished second, he comes up to me and we're in tech and he goes, "You think I could get them chicken tenders now?" And I was like, "Oh, the ones you asked for before qualifying?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like,
didn't get fed.
Buddy. Yeah, I think you've earned these chicken tenders.
They were good too.
Look at the competition between Dominion and Langley for the Virginia Racers. I know a lot of those guys don't come down here and race very often. So what's the competition level? How would you rate the competition level between the two tracks?
So I feel at Langley, there's only a handful of cars that, could easily win on a given week. You know what cars those are. And at Dominion, there's like 5 or 6 of them. Like we went up there and qualified. We qualified. The top 8 were under 1/10 of a second. I mean,
well, that's what you got to do. But I just look at it this way: that I would like to see how they could work that division for them 2 tracks to where they would get together. I know that was the plan a couple years ago. That fell out, didn't go nowhere.
It was supposed to be the plan for this year too.
Yeah, and I give them a little bit of a break this year because gas prices are going up and down the road and this and that. I understand that. But I think it's a time for them to see if they can work together more to make this happen, because I think it'd be a better field if you could do the two race tracks, pool your effort, and make it a big deal. Make it a real big deal.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great.
definitely.
So Kyle, who is some of the guys you have a problem with at these racetracks? Do you have any enemies or anything? Hey, look, I got to start something. I got to figure out how I can get
No, not before he races. You do not. Look, we are going in to take care of business and run our race, and it's a great day to be at Langley Speedway.
I mean, I know there's some people that I try to be a very friendly person, but I know there's some few noses that have been crumpled up because of me, some doors.
And I will say, I think a lot of people forget that he is still learning. And every time there has been an incident, he has always come over the radio and owned it. And it doesn't take it away. It doesn't, fix anything, but he's always owned it and he's always learned from it. And I think he's got an excellent spotter. Justin Posey we're slightly biased, but the best in the business. And he does a great job coaching him. Chase Burrow coaches him and works with him on whether it's Dominion or Langley. He is constantly, when we went to Langley to practice, Chase was in school or doing something. I don't know, but he's like FaceTiming me, texting me, going back and forth, and then doing the same thing with Kyle. So I think our main thing is, have you been practicing your shifts?
On the racetrack or?
Just in general.
Well, I mean, I'd like to get a little manual car, but.
We have, going into this race, Riley and Cody are like 6 points, 4 points separated. Sorry. And it's 150 lap race this weekend. So there's a lot on the line for them too. I did talk to Riley at Martinsville and I'm like, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you restart behind Kyle, he was like, oh, I'm laying all the way back. He's gonna miss the shift.
So he's got a Scott Allen thing, a tendency with like Scott Allen. Of course, he did. Of course, when they drop the green flag, you just miss a shift. You don't hit the brake pedal.
No.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what it is.
They had to label Scott's pedals because he didn't know which one was which.
No, he gets the pedals right. He just misses the gear.
We got a new shift for this weekend, so.
Do you have everything? Get Erin to get you some of them little things and mark it down into what gear you need to go to and everything.
Yeah.
Make sure you got all that.
It's just 4 corners.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you still miss it, you miss it. I mean, you got to have it right there where you can see it. Well, that's the way Scott drives. And, he put on here a minute ago, he's still learning. But at his age, he ain't going to learn much. I'm going to tell you.
Poor Scott.
Yeah, poor Scott.
Poor Scott.
Poor Scott. You saw the picture a minute ago. That's how bad it was for Scott. He's got it so bad.
Yeah.
If I could go to work and sit in a recliner, I'd go back to work tomorrow. If I could go there and sit in a recliner and answer phones.
I need to figure out how I can get a recliner in my office.
Well,
I need to page Ricky Smoot.
Hey, yeah, that's a new thing. What about Ricky Smoot? We need to get Ricky on here. Is he still out and about or is he locked up again?
I've been pretty busy with a lot of different things going on. So I'm not too sure what Ricky Smoot is up to. The fact that he's been so quiet is a little concerning. So I will try to work on seeing if I can find his location.
Do you think he'll show up for the Beluso race?
I don't know. There was talks of it possibly, but I know that's a race that is, special to a lot of people, Rick included. So I think Rick might put up a fight for his seat for that race. But at the same time, the race has been rescheduled and there's a lot going on towards there. So I hear there's a big Lamborghini race overseas and a lot of local guys leave town on that day. So we'll just have to see which drivers I have available that will be able to make the race.
Get him to drive Kyle's car one time. Kyle
we have actually, so that brings us to our next question I was going to ask you, Kyle. Since the last time you were on the show, you picked up a pretty big sponsor. quarter panel looks a little different. So,
all right, who'd you get?
Snapmobile.shop.
Oh, okay.
So we have actually
I
talked.
wonder where that came from.
We are looking at, getting at least Rick in the car and letting Rick make some laps in the 18 car.
I was joking about it, but I wasn't really serious about putting him in the car because, if I was Kyle, I wouldn't let him in my car. I mean, that's kind of bad when you let somebody else drive your car.
He's let Chase drive his car.
Oh.
Brandon drives his car. Maverick rides in his car it's tradition. When we go to tech before qualifying, Maverick gets in and drives the car. Well, Ryan's holding the steering wheel, but we all push Maverick in the car. And then every single day, every time Maverick has the argument when Kyle's got to get in the car, Maverick argues with Kyle that he doesn't want to get out and that it's his car.
Well, look what you got to look forward to down the road.
Oh, trust me.
That's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Kyle, have you started working on next year and what all you got going on for next year yet?
Not yet. We don't really know what the car's going to look like after the next race. So
Kyle has not started working on next year, but the marketing department of K&M has started working on next year. We are gladly accepting sponsorships, and we can confirm here tonight what 2023 looks like.
Uh-oh.
You want the honors?
No, you got it.
You want me to do it?
Mm-hmm.
So it does look like the 18 Snapmobile.shop Virginia racer will be racing full-time at Langley Speedway next year.
Oh, great. That'll be good.
Yeah. Coming home for good.
That's a great deal. That's a good deal. So that's what you need to do. Come home and maybe somewhere down the road you'll enjoy being at Langley and get one of those. Finally get rid of Riley and all those.
Oh, and I will say, and you can speak on this too, that your first race at Langley. Mm-hmm. Amy Music had texted me and said, hey, Riley would like to walk the track with Kyle. When is he available? And I was like, that's awesome. Like, whenever, just come on down. So Riley comes down, Cody Bryant Jr. comes down, they walk the track, they talk, they give tips, and, just really welcomed Kyle in and just worked with him and talked to him and just kind of coached him through it. They were an open book to them, or to Kyle. So just a class act of those, kids. And I think we very often forget that they are kids inside those race cars. And it speaks volumes of their sportsmanship that, they took time out of their day. Nobody asked them to. Nobody made them. They willingly came down there to offer advice and help coach him. And I knew, that was cool. And even Riley came up and congratulated him. Cody came up, like they were so pumped and amped for him and his finish and what he had just did. So definitely a lot of history between those three. Just their family and everything. So it's kind of cool to see it unfold and see it continue.
Well, I'm gonna talk to Riley Music before Saturday. I'm gonna tell him you done told me you were gonna kick his butt if he beat you this week. So I'm gonna start something. I'm gonna get something started somehow or other.
No, so what's funny is when Riley beat Kyle at their last race, Maverick had always liked Riley, and we had put this Mayhem management spade on Riley's car. And the next race, I had FaceTimed Maverick and I showed him the spade, and he was like, "Take it off now." I was like, "What did Riley do to you?" He beat Kyle. And since that race, like he sees him at the racetrack, he growled at him the last race. And Riley was just like, "I was just trying to say hi."
That's what a lot of people do with Riley. We got a nickname for him. I won't say it, but we got a nickname for him. Scott has a nickname for him.
He made Maverick mad. He did not make a friend in Maverick at all. So,
well, you can't. Kids don't want you to beat their favorite, so you can't do anything about that. So, Kyle, give us a rundown on all your sponsors and everybody that helps you out.
So we got SnapMobile.shop, e-dealer services, Radiac Abrasives, Mayhem Management, Precision Powder, Precision Kitchen and Countertops, Banks Power, After Hours Racing, James River Mechanical, and then just everybody comes to track with us. Kevin Steinanswer, Justin Posey, Erin, Shorty, my Uncle Brandon, Rusty, my dad, and my mom.
Okay, cool. Oh,
Andrew Fuller Photography.
yeah. Now explain to me what Andrew Fuller does for you. He takes a picture. I mean,
Look, in my eyes, like
1,000 words.
It makes my job a lot easier when Andrew is at the track shooting. I mean, same thing. Like a lot of times, the car store races, I can't always be there. And Andrew's there and he is taking pictures, sending me pictures in practice and qualifying during the race. He's constantly giving me content and feeding me information, letting me know what's happening. So he's 1,000% a crucial part of Mayhem management.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna let that go for now.
Yeah. Fuller gets a pass. He gets a pass. He is a very appreciated portion of my brand, and what he's built with his brand is so impressive. Definitely proud of that kid and everything that he's doing.
I'll go back to a minute just for a second, Kyle, and talk about you and Cody and everybody being in that division. That the three of you guys, and of course you've not raced at Langley much with them, but Cody and Riley are, and you will be too. But I'm just saying, y'all are the guys that are going to be the face of Langley Speedway in a few years. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You guys are going to keep going, and you're going to be the face of what the new racing is like at Langley Speedway. What's it like to know that that group of guys, no matter what happens down the road, y'all are probably going to be ending up racing against each other many, many, many times. So, how does that feel to you to know that somewhere down the line you're going to become a late model driver and have to contend with them again?
I mean, that'd be great. I mean, I love racing with them. I've only ran one race with them, but I mean, they race me clean, and I'll continue to do that as well to them. So,
well, that I guess it was your first time there. They race you clean because it's the first time there.
Yeah. And I'm not points battling, so.
Well, that's true. That's true. So, how'd you do in the points up at Dominion?
There was a few nights where we just qualified bad and didn't really have.
I think we ended top 10.
I think we were top 10. We missed a handful of races. I think we missed my prom. Got wrecked out of the first twin, or the second twin. Blew a motor.
The night you blew the motor, you were running third.
I was finished second in the first one, and I was running down the leader.
Well, as Scott Allen says, that's what happens when you got a big old cheated up motor.
I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's what. Ask Scott. He had one in the car too, probably. He blew a motor.
What's so funny is me and Brandon were there for that race. And when it happened, we both looked at each other at the same exact time and said, guess that'll happen with the big old cheated up motor.
So, yeah.
And then I found out he wasn't even in the car. And I'm like, well, that just took all of the fun out of it.
Yeah, but he was still involved.
Okay.
You got to know he's still involved in it. So that's just the way it is. Now, I see a new face done popped up on here. I'm going to get him on here in a minute. You got anything you want to say about Chase Burrow there, Kyle? I mean, anything good, bad, anything like that? Anything you want to talk about?
He's made me a lot better driver, especially at Dominion, just, getting off that brake.
Well, you're really not going to start nothing tonight.
Yeah.
I know, I see that. But look, I got your driver of the week. You were the driver of the week a couple weeks ago. I'm going to have your driver of the week thing. I'm going to give it to Erin to give to you. Congratulations on that. I mean, I hear you doing a great job, and you deserve driver of the week. I didn't see it. I didn't see you have a whole lot of mafia connection with yours. Maybe a little bit, but congratulations, and I'll make sure you get that. I'm not going to hold it back. I'm sorry we couldn't do it tonight. Tonight was the plan to do it tonight, but
we'll be at the track this weekend, so you can still give it to him.
So I'll be I'll be getting it to you, man. I want you to have that. And where did Chase go to? I was gonna get him on here. But
No.
all right. You want to stay with us, Kyle? You want to? I'm gonna get.
He's kind of stuck.
I'm gonna be right here. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're not going anywhere. Okay.
Yep.
All right. There is Mr. Chase.
Oh, he's at the shop.
Look at him. Look at him.
I'm
gonna tell you something, Chase. You had a great Martinsville. The Martinsville was great, and you did a wonderful job. I think I know that's a big feather in your cap to be able to go to Martinsville and run as good as you did down there.
Yeah, no, it was a good weekend for sure. You know, we went into it with no expectations, and it worked out good. So it was a good weekend for sure.
You know what? You did good, even though you are wearing a Fuller jacket. I don't understand that Fuller stuff. Y'all just sucked all up on Fuller. I don't understand it.
The wind is blowing real today, so I had to throw the windbreaker on. I didn't get wind burnt.
Oh, okay. I'll go with that. Chase, what was it like? I mean, you got to start the second heat race up at Martinsville. You got the pole for that. You were on the pole for that. So, and you won the race. So how did it feel to be able to go to Martinsville and win a race?
Yeah, you know, it was pretty cool. You know, just the whole Martinsville deal is, you know, it's a dream come true. I've been going to Martinsville for a while now. Just watching, of course. To go there, and we unloaded, you know, pretty quick throughout the day. We were in the top 10 like most of the day. And then to bust a lap in qualifying like that was unreal. You know, I knew we were quick. I know we had some long run speed. I didn't think we had some qualifying speed like that. But, you know, of course it helps, you know, to start the pole for a heat, you know, it helps for sure. And, you know, to come to the green, just leading a race at Martinsville, you know, it's crazy to think that, you know, a few years ago, you know, I was sitting in the stands watching somebody else do it.
You were sitting in the stands.
That's surreal.
Yeah. Last year I was in the pits with Rusty, but yeah, it's crazy for sure. But to win the heat, you know, that's something that not a lot of guys can say that they've done. You know, no matter a heat, the feature, like whatever it is, you know, you want to race in Martinsville. So it's one of the things that, you know, it was just a pretty cool deal.
But put it all in perspective, at 93 cars there, and you qualified second, right? You were the second fastest. Yeah, you were the second fastest. And that has got to be a big, big feather in your hat to say, I was second out of 93 cars and probably some of the most outstanding race car drivers on the East Coast. I mean, you have to look at it and say that.
Yeah, you know, to show up my first year at Martinsville, driving, of course, and break the track record in my qualifying lap. It got broke by Bobby McCarty by, was it 1/1000th or something like that? Something small, you know, like a blink of an eye to get beat by the pole for that at Martinsville. You know, yes, we qualified second, but, you know, your eyes were on the pole. You know what I'm saying? So,
well,
it was a very good lap.
Go ahead, Erin.
Speaking of qualifying, we did kind of tell Jack that you had a very funny story about qualifying and what happened and what you said to yourself after your first lap. Can you fill him in on that?
Yeah. So during the day, so we unloaded on some decent tires. They weren't great. They weren't new, but they weren't terrible. So we knew we were in the ballpark there. Then we got good on those. We made a mock run during the day, and I kind of blew it. Me myself, I blew it. You know, I had never done it there. You know, the braking there is key, and I locked the left front up, getting down into 1, I do believe. And we still didn't run a bad time, but, you know, the amount of time that I left on the table because I locked the brake up, I knew we were going to be decent. Well, in qualifying the first lap, the dude had started to set. I didn't know. It got really cold. I didn't know what to expect. In my first lap, I didn't really – so I wouldn't say I babied it, but I didn't do what I didn't drive the car to the max. And Posey came on the radio getting down into one. The straightaway is long there, so you got plenty of time. And he told me my time. It's like a 90, I think it was. And I told myself that wasn't enough. I wasn't gonna go out like that, So I was gonna be a zero, where I was gonna be a hero, and it ended up working. I had a few guys. They came to me after qualifying the next day, and they were like, "Man, I've never seen nobody drive it that far down in the 3." I had my mind set up. Like we were going to be good, or we were going to be leaving in the box. So it hooked up, it stuck, and that's where
didn't
I got
have to take it home in the box. No, you did a
it
great
went in the
job.
box.
You did a great job down there in Martinsville. I mean, I'm really, I was really impressed. Look at all the stuff that you drove in this year. You had a dirt car. You ran a dirt car. Do you still run the modified some too?
Yes, sir. So I don't do it as much as I want to. But I ran a few times this year trying to get ready for the Blues race, of course. We're gonna run that, and then I don't know about next year in the modified. All depends.
Be with you in a minute, Lenny.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, I think the experience of driving all these different vehicles, how much does that help you in your between all the cars, being able to have that much? You got a lot of different things that you got your hand in. The cars are different. They handle different. Everything is different. How much does that help you in your driving style as far as what you did at Martinsville?
So a race car is a race car, right? But, seat time is seat time. And, when it comes to Martinsville and the straight line braking, I've done a lot of road course driving. Not a lot of people, they know that. But I've done a fair amount of road course stuff. And with a big stock car, not a big sport, not a sporty car or nothing like that. It's a big stock car. It's like an old car. And all that is that's a straight line braking deal too, road racing. And I feel like that helps me a lot coming to Martinsville, going to Caraway, that's straight line braking. A lot of these tracks in the car store, they're longer straightaways, tight corners, like Ace, that's a straight line braking track kind of, you're on the brake down to the center, but you're not on it like you think you would be. So a lot of that stuff comes from a lot of things. The straight line braking, that comes from road racing. The dirt, that comes in with some car control. In Martinsville, we started P2. We expected a long run, so we started the air pressure where we thought we needed to. It was not where we needed to. The car was good on a long run, but we had a lot of cautions. So about every time we fired off for a green flag, we were so free I couldn't pass nobody. So that came into the play with the dirt car, a little bit of car control. Just like the stuff that I drive, it's all about learning, whether I'm in a super late model on dirt, crate car, a late model stock car, Kyle's car, it doesn't matter what car I get in, I always learn something. And it always portrays back to another car. So it's all about seat time. That's what you need to be successful. So that's what we're trying to get.
Well, speaking of being successful, I heard, do you have anything in the works for next year? Are you opening up for sponsorships maybe?
Yeah, so we're
your PR girl's telling you to talk up.
Yeah, so of course we're always, we're sponsors. With this car store deal, if we do decide to do it next year, you get an ungodly amount of TV time. You get all that stuff. So, yeah,
Well, I will say something that, has come so unexpected. You started the car store as just a fill-in, just one race, and then it kind of just, you earned your spot and you ran with the opportunity. What has all of this attention been like for you? Because you went from running, dirt and the late model at Dominion and pretty low-key quiet and just off the radar to bam, every track you're at, there's a camera in your face. They want to talk to you. I mean, Martinsville, every time you turned around, it was another interview. There's articles being written about you on a regular basis. Just anything racing, Chase Burrow's name is in it. What has that been like?
Yeah, you that's not really, the focus, the focus is kind of, trophies, checks, that's your main goal when you show up to the racetrack. And a lot of times, cameras and stuff like that, they'll distract you a little bit away from, the job. But, it's been cool to get my name out there, some interviews and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, my job is to do the best I can for the guys. So, they're still here, some late nights. I was
going to say, speaking of the guys, I see this behind you. So does that mean crew chief is around?
They're all here right now. You got Christy's here, Wayne, Mike was here, Dad's still here. You got Austin here. So, they're all still spinning wrenches. The pros got to get ready to go to Ace. Of course, the late model. So, so their job is here.
Oh.
Wow, where do you go to? There he is.
Hold on. There he goes.
Backstage.
You kind of disappeared for a minute, but anyway. Chase, you were driver of the week last week. I'm going to get you your certificate for driver of the week. I'll get it to Erin or whatever. I don't know when I'll see you again. I know you're going to be at the Beluso race, but
yes, sir.
So congratulations on that, and I'll have it for you as soon as I see you. And don't let Erin take it and put it on her wall or something. You take it and put it where you need to put it. But anyway, that's how it is. But anyway, thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us. Spend a little time with us tonight. And
yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you, man.
Bye, bud.
All right, now I want to bring in the busiest, the hardest working man. Everything. I mean, this guy does everything. I kind of look up to him in a lot of ways because he's into everything that I would love to do. So anyway, let's get the PRN's at the track man, Lenny Batycki. How you doing, Lenny?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry I was a couple minutes late because I was doing something non-motorsports, helping my wife with some yard work. So the glamorous world.
The honey to-do list waits for no one.
Yeah. So it was, the weeds in the yard, and Mama Bear got to take care of all that between the races.
So, hey, that's what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do on that. So.
Well, and as always, every time I'm on your show, it's gone leaps and bounds more forward. And just appreciate what you do, not only for the Tidewater, but the people that watch you now all over the country to get information on late model racing and such. That kid, Chase Burrow, he's a player. He's going to continue to move forward, and beautiful race cars and a team that puts their heart into it. So looking forward to seeing him, on the front stretch soon at a car store race.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things going on. He's kind of like you in a lot of ways, Lenny. Though you don't drive, he's into a whole lot of stuff. I mean, he loves the dirt cars. He does everything.
Yeah, it was interesting to listen to him how the late model attacked Martinsville, different from when I was with Skinner and the truck team, and Mike was actually letting off at the flag stand where Chase was saying he was driving it hard into 3. It was like we didn't even get close to 3. At halfway in the back stretch, halfway in the front stretch, you were just rolling in, and so you could dig coming off. But the late model's a whole different animal, and he certainly drove the heck out of it at Martinsville. Almost got him a clock.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he did a great job at Martinsville. I was really impressed with how good he did. Well, Lenny, you got a big weekend coming up down at Charlotte. I wish I could be there. I can't be there this time, but I really would. Tell us what all's going on down there.
Well, the Xfinity cars will be there, and the Cup cars. And really, one of the things that I talked to Nick Yeoman, who's going to be joining us from IndyCar Racing Radio. He'll be on the PRN broadcast covering that turn 2, the one coming just as they come past the heartburn turn and start to swoop their way on out. A lot of wrecks happen there and such. But he was talking about all the IndyCar guys that are coming. You got Marco Andretti's going to run in the Xfinity race at the Roval this weekend. You got all kinds of different people from all over the world. You got a Russian driver going to drive this time, guys that have run the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So it'll be interesting to see if the ringer aspect maybe comes up a little bit and they're able to contend because of the unique shape of the Roval.
Lenny, I don't think you heard that ringer thing for years. Everybody said, "Oh, they bring the ringer in." I don't see where that materialized to, because these guys and the NASCAR guys they've taken to the road courses.
They really have. It's hard to find a better road course racer on any road course anywhere in any type vehicle than Chase Elliott. And then we've got Reddick, who is good, and so many of the others now make it look so Ricky Rudd-like, if you will, there at the Tidewater, as he was so good. Yeah, the ringer really has gone out since maybe the days of Boris Said. But I think this group that is coming, they loaded up, their transporters and such, pulled the Indy cars out, threw in some these new stock cars, and it'll be fun to watch. How many times do you get to say you were at a race that an Andretti was a rookie?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah. And the Roval is a good place for these guys to come and get some experience with the NASCARs, because that's a pretty good idea. That's a tough little road course.
It really is. And, it's going to be great weather. It's going to be in the 60s, this weekend. But I still remember when we ran the Xfinity cars in the rain, and that was a sight to behold, to see the spray and everything. It wasn't what made the drivers comfortable. The fans weren't comfortable in the grandstands. But if you were anywhere inside to watch the dynamics of how they tried to make it around that track in that torrential rain, that showed you who could drive and the amazing skills that the entire field had just to make it through.
Yeah, I went to different parts of the track and watched them to see how they did, and it's amazing to me how they hung on to them cars in some of them places. It's unbelievable.
It really is. Erin, did you hear that? He went out in the rain. Jack went out in the rain. I thought sugar melted in the rain.
Right?
Well, I have to do it every now and then just to see what's going on. Like everybody says, I'm a little nosy. I got to find out what's going on.
You nosy?
What did you see that was the most shocking? Did you see left fronts, right fronts up in the air, wheels spinning, going straight? What do you remember about that rain event at the Roval a couple of years ago that was really unique? Well,
it was, and that little chicane or whatever they got on the backstretch. I saw the guys go in there, and if that front tire lifted, and a lot of times it did, they didn't make it like they were supposed to. And I was watching how when they go through there one time, they do it one way, they come through and do it another. I bet you they went through there about 20 times doing different things trying to get through that thing. It was unbelievable. Yeah. I loved it.
It had to be incredible for those guys. What a shock to the system, and bravo for them to race in that. I know nobody wants to see that again, but I still remember some good stuff from that day. And hopefully this weekend, with the cool weather, with some new names in the field, cutoff race for the Cup Series, should be a pretty busy weekend over at Charlotte for the Roval.
Yeah, I'm going to miss it. And I love being there for the Roval. I really do. And I'm going to miss it this time, but it'll be fun to get back there to see it, because I love coming to Charlotte. I love being down there. Well,
we love having you. And maybe just send Erin down, get her a media center pass or whatnot, have her come down and join us. And how about, Chase? Maybe he can come race the World Short Track Championship coming up at the end of the month.
That'd be cool too. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I might be able to get down there to see this one. I don't know. It depends on how.
Erin's going to need to get busy on some sponsorships.
Well, we know Scott won't be there because he can't even get his leg up off the ground. So we know he can't be there. But I'd love to come down there for that. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of drivers, and I would imagine there'll be some guys from Dixieland come over and participate. And of course, Virginia Motor Speedway, $50,000 they had there, a week or two ago. Tyler Bear, Brooper's kid, getting the victory.
Yeah, that was a pretty good deal there too. And I would love to come down and see it, but Lenny, you're into everything. Every time I turn around, I see you're at a different racetrack doing different things. And that's something one day, maybe before I pass on to the great beyond, I'll get a chance to go to some of them places that you go to. It's unbelievable how I love hearing you go to other racetracks and the things you talk about when you get there.
Well, so many, it's really a people deal. And, some of the tracks are in picturesque places. Some aren't. Some have great names like Dog Hollow and Lizard Creek and Possum Kingdom. You get to go there, a Rockfish Speedway. But, it's really who's at the end of that journey when you get to the track and that smiling face and you get to experience maybe something new from the refreshment stand and, see a different angle of attack of a racetrack and just little things that make each place we all go unique and to get to meet new friends and really make lifelong friends, all across these small tracks and big tracks all across the country.
Yeah, I love going to the small dirt tracks and stuff like that. I haven't done it as much lately as I'd love to, but that's a fun deal when you go to those dirt tracks and watch them race down there. It's really cool.
They're always such a pleasure and so appreciative and so friendly. And, hey, try some of this, try some of that. Great to have you here. Just go and try to make our track known more. They'll always be just so extra accommodating. It's an honor to have their trust that we're there on their behalf as much as we are for our brand.
Yeah.
So what all you got left on the rest of the season? What kind of things you got going on for you the rest of the season? Will you be down at Florence?
I believe so. We'll be at Florence. We got both of the last two cars races. We were going to be at Ace last week, but we got a little bit of weather. So we'll miss this Friday, but Caraway and South Boston are on my schedule. So maybe get to see Chase make that podium run at the end of the
hopefully,
season.
And PR girl will be there. So
very cool. Well, you'll have to give us the inside scoop so we know what to talk about him. But those will be a couple World Short Track Championship, probably some of the World Finals. And, who knows? Wherever, it looks like a good race and good weather connecting, time to get in the buggy and get over there and see some friends.
Well, I'm planning. I've got it marked on my calendar to be at Florence when they do the races at Florence this year. I think they got one at the big two. Is it one big one at the end of the year? 400.
Yep. Florence 400, right. Just like the old Myrtle Beach 400. That's always a good one. I believe it's part of the Keen Cup from Keen Parts and CorvetteParts.net this time around. So they'll have a little bit of extra incentive to get one of those beautiful Keen Cups to take home.
Yeah, I love coming. When I came to Florence last year, it was really great. I want to make that trip again and come down and watch some racing down there because I loved every minute of it.
The Zachariases are putting their everything into it. That's their life. They're raising their kids at the racetrack. They're working on the racetrack every day, and just appreciate that family for what they're doing.
Yeah, he told me when we were down there the last time. You were down there with us when we were down that time. He was even sleeping at the track in the press box, so he'd be there in time to get up and do things in the morning. So that was pretty wild. But he's gonna stay like that.
Erin, you should have seen Jack. He's all up in the booth there, and we got him on to talk about this show and just all the things up there in Virginia that he connects with. It was really, really fun. Hopefully, we'll get a few moments to be able to do that again next time.
That would be nice. That would be great. And Lenny, I want to say one thing before I let you go. I know you got a lot going on, but I want to say one thing. Thank you for everything you've done for us as far as when we come down there. You got us started coming to Charlotte on a regular basis. I really appreciate it. And anytime I've ever called you or asked you to do something to come on the show, you're always willing to do it, and I really appreciate you. You make us feel good that like we've come somewhere to get somebody like you on our show.
Well, Jack, I consider you a friend, and I'm glad to help out. And we lost a good announcer this week because he just got lost in his mind, and Rick Eshelman was a great friend. And the more we get to talk to each other and keep each other going in a positive direction, I'm all for that. And I'm glad to be your friend and to get to meet Erin and hopefully get to see you both down in Florence.
I'm going to be at Florence. I know that, but I'm really looking forward to it. Lenny, thanks for everything you do for us, man. And hopefully I can get you back on here. We'll talk some more racing again later on. But thanks a lot for your time.
My pleasure. Take care. Good night to both of you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Lenny.
Good night. We'll see you later. Thank you. All right, Erin.
All right, Jack.
That was everybody. I mean, we
got it done tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, we did good even without Charlotte. I mean, even without Scott, we didn't mess anything up.
No, we had a smooth show.
He's gonna be proud that I didn't screw up anything up here today. So
that's right. I'm proud of you, Jack. You did a good job.
Well, I appreciate it. And so what all you got going on? And I know you're going to be at Langley this weekend. What else you got going on?
I will be at Langley. I am working hard. It is obviously end of the season, so we are hot and heavy on sponsorship hunts for all of my drivers. I'm working on getting some stuff together for Chase, trying to find him some sponsors so they can get a game plan together on what they're doing. Chris Edwards with ERE is obviously crew chief and taking care of that car. So doing a lot of work with those guys. It's been a lot of K&M work lately. We had that celebration, Matt Carter locked in his second championship. So that was an exciting night to be a part of and to kind of capitalize on all of that and just really soak that moment in. So, from there, we've had a couple weeks off. I got to go to the racetrack a couple weeks ago and didn't have a dog in the fight. And I just got to watch and it was so nice to just be a fan. But now it's back to work this weekend with K&M. And then we will hopefully bring some hardware home.
That would be nice.
Obviously, Snap Mobile is keeping me very busy. So, a lot of really cool things in the works that between Snap Mobile, I've had a lot of really incredible opportunities come my way that kind of all started with Rookie Smoot, as ironic as that is. So a lot of really big stuff on the table for me professionally, personally, Mayhem management, just all the way around. So hard work does pay off and you can turn your dream into a reality. So sometimes I have to remind myself of that.
Well, one thing I appreciate you and I do the thing during the week with the graphic thing you do for us. And I really appreciate it. You do a great job with it. I tell you what, I was impressed this week. That was probably your best one this week.
And I keep raising the bar on myself. And every time I sit down to do it, I'm like, all right, let's see how we're going to do it this week.
Well, you did good this past week. That was an unbelievable one. So, but I thank you for your help and thank you for filling in when Scott's not here. You're doing a great job. So,
someone's got to do it. And for someone who hated public speaking and didn't want to be on the camera, here we are. So I joked, I told Rec, and I was like, this is just going to be the season of doing hard things and scary things. And we're just going to go for it. So I appreciate Scott letting me have his seat for a little while. And it's been a lot of fun sitting alongside you doing the show.
Well, I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be back at Langley next week. Well, no, not hopefully. We will be back at Langley next week.
All right. You heard it here.
I'm coming back. This is killing me not being able to go. I did not going tonight. It's just out of my routine. I mean,
yeah.
I came home from the doctor and I'm sitting here going, what do I do?
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm not. I turned the TV on and I looked and I said, I don't even know what's on Tuesdays anymore. So I couldn't watch nothing. So, but I really appreciate all you do for us. It's really great. And I appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
So anyway, that's our show for tonight. Next week, Christian Keller will be with us next week. I'm sorry that, it didn't work out because I couldn't make it down there this time. I got a couple other things in the works too. So I'll be getting that out, getting it to Erin so she can put it out.
What's
coming up next week. But anyway, thank you, Erin. Thank everybody for tuning in. Getting off just a tad bit early tonight compared to
look at us. We're getting it done.
That's right. And it didn't even have Scott. So, but if anybody wants a picture of Scott in his office working, let me know. I got a copy of it. We can work it out. So anyway, all right. Talk to you later, Erin. And
good night.
Good night. We'll see you soon.